Chapter 6 of Man, King of Mind, Body, and Circumstance. This is a Librivox recording. All Librivox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit librivox.org. Recording by Andrea Fiore. Man, King of Mind, Body, and Circumstance by James Allen. Chapter 6. Man's Spiritual Dominion. The kingdom over which man is destined to rule with undisputed sway is that of his own mind and life. But this kingdom, as already shown, is not separate from the universe, is not confined to itself alone. It is intimately related to entire humanity, to nature, to the current of events in which it is, for the time being, involved, and to the vast universe. Thus the mastery of this kingdom embraces the mastery of the knowledge of life. It lifts a man into the supremacy of wisdom, bestowing upon him the gift of insight into human hearts, giving him the power to distinguish between good and evil, also to comprehend that which is above both good and evil, and to know the nature and consequences of deeds. At present men are more or less under the sway of rebellious thoughts, and the conquest of these is the supreme conquest of life. The unwise think that everything can be mastered by oneself, and they seek for happiness for themselves and others by modifying external things. The transposing of outward effects cannot bring permanent happiness or bestow wisdom. The patching and coddling of a sin-laden body cannot produce health and well-being. The wise know that there is no real mastery until self is subdued, and that when one's self is conquered, the subjugation of externals is finally assured, and they find happiness forever springing up within them in the calm strength of divine virtue. They put away sin, and purify and strengthen the body by rising superior to the sway of its passions. Man can reign over his own mind, can be lord over himself. Until he does so reign, his life is unsatisfactory and imperfect. His spiritual dominion is the empire of the mental forces of which his nature is composed. The body has no causative power. The ruling of the body, that is, of appetite and passion, is the discipline of mental forces. The subduing, modifying, redirecting, and transmuting of the antagonizing spiritual elements within is the wonderful and mighty work which all men must, sooner or later, undertake. For a long time, man regards himself as a slave of external forces, but there comes a day when his spiritual eyes open, and he sees that he has been a slave this long time to none and nothing but his own ungoverned, unpurified self. In that day he rises up, and as ascending his spiritual throne, he no longer obeys his desires, appetites, and passions as their slave, but henceforth rules them as his subjects. The mental kingdom through which he has been wont to wander as a puling beggar and a whipped serf, he now discovers is his by right of lordly self-control. He is to set in order, to organize and harmonize, to abolish its dissensions and painful contradictions, and bring it to a state of peace. Thus rising up and exercising his rightful spiritual authority, he enters the company of those kingly ones who in all ages have conquered and attained, who have overcome ignorance, darkness, and mental suffering, and have ascended into truth. End of Chapter 6. Recording by Andrea Fiore.